Hello friends, going to discuss about API Gateway and Lambda Proxy integration. Previously we have not discussed about API Gateway, but API Gateway is a simple thing where we can just configure and create one REST API and all those methods and their configurations. And Lambda we have already seen. And the prerequisite for this video is if you don't know about Lambda, please go ahead and watch my previous video on Lambda with S3 or Lambda with DynamoDB. Also, I have made one video. So please go ahead and watch that video and then come back to this video. Okay, so this video basically we are going to just create one Lambda function using Java, and then we'll come back and see create one API gateway, just configure one REST API using the AWS console. Then next part is we'll see how the proxy integration works in API Gateway and Lambda, because nowadays most of the people they are using this serverless architecture, like using Lambda for any of the processing and API Gateway for all their services, because you don't need to take care of the environment, right? So, and you can extend it to any level, you can scale it to any level. So basically, you don't need to take care of or bother about the huge load on the server, and at that time what I am going to do, all those things. So scalability is unlimited over here. So people are using this architecture nowadays, and so I thought let's have a video on this, how this proxy integration works, especially using Java. Okay, and then we'll just have a demo and we'll just check it out. We'll view the CloudWatch log and verify. Okay, so let's get started quickly. All right then. Let me first go to my. If you have not seen my Lambda video, please go back and watch that video and then come back to this tutorial, or else you won't be able to understand anything. Guys, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe so that you will get notified, and I'll be uploading a couple of more videos related to this. Maybe next video I can upload on AWS API Gateway, Lambda, and then how to push it to DynamoDB or RDS. Okay. Okay. Basically, this is one Lambda handler function, which is a request handler. And if you see here, the type is API Gateway Proxy Request and API Gateway Proxy Response. And if you see here, this is not any predefined class or something like that. We have created this class. Okay. So basically, if you go here, let me first go to the Lambda console so that you will understand. Okay, so in this Lambda console, if you go here and click on the configure test event, you might have seen in our previous video we just used to create one test event without any template. Okay, but here if you see, right, first of all go to create new test event. Okay, and then there will be one option called event template. Okay, so in this event template you select here AWS API Gateway Proxy, Amazon API Gateway AWS Proxy. Okay, once you select this one, it is going to populate all the request type. And as you are a Java developer, you very well know that how do you create the POSO or the Java class or the model based on the JSON. So what I have done is, this is body, resource, path, HTTP methods, then query string parameters, then multi-value query string, headers, all those things. So just have a look to this one, this JSON, and accordingly you create the model over there, which I have done. And if you see here, if I go to my model here, API Gateway Proxy Request and API Gateway Proxy Response, I have created similarly. If you see here, I have created a resource, then path, HTTP methods, headers, query string, just by following this JSON. If you see here, body is there directly in request, here body is there. Similarly, resource is there, you can find the resource directly. Then query string parameter is there, path parameter is there, headers is there. Similarly, if you see query string parameter, and the type of this query string parameter should be one map of string and string. The same thing we have done it here. All right. Okay, similarly, you need to create the response as well. Okay, and in response, you need to send the status code, because the proxy integration works in such a way that whatever the response you are sending from the Lambda, if you are sending in this format, right, in one POSO, you have one status code, hint, then headers and body. So actually the status code, the Lambda, the AWS Gateway proxy integration will understand and consider this as your status code, whether it is success based on the status code 200, 201, it's created 500, all these things, okay? Then similarly, you can send any headers as part of your response and response body, okay? And now if you see, this is just simple Lambda handler method where we can get any of our request type. This is whatever we'll be getting, and this is the response which we have set it to the proxy request and proxy response. And we are just getting the body over here, okay, input.get body. Then here we are using the object mapper, and for that I think you may need to uh, add the Jackson dependency, okay, or else it might not work. If you see here, okay, maybe whenever you are adding this AWS Java SDK bomb or this S3 or Lambda events, right, it is already taken care, so you may no need to add that one, okay. So with this dependency, there is nothing much. As you might have seen in my previous video also, we have already discussed that you need to have this AWS Lambda Java events and this Lambda Java core. This S3 I have added it because in this project itself I have one example for S3, but if you are not using any S3 related service, you can just ignore this, okay. Basically using object mapper, I am just going to parse the body and map it to the user details class. And if you see here, this user details will have user ID, first name and last name, okay. So that whatever in body we are getting, we are just going to parse it into this user details. And same thing what we are doing using the logger, because you need to get the logger from the context, okay. So Lambda context will get the log, you will get the logger from Lambda context, and you will log that so that it will be logged to the CloudWatch, okay. You can use sysout also, but it's better to use the logger, okay. And then we are just input.get HTTP method, okay. And here we are printing the query string, okay. Then just creating the response with status code as 200 and success. If anything wrongs, this is we are sending 500 and failure, okay. So this is what the Lambda code will look like, and basically you need to have these two POSO along with the user details, whatever I'm using, that is your user defined user, whatever you can use it, okay. But these two things should be in that format if you are using proxy integration, okay. And this is our class. Rest of the classes you can just ignore it because that was part of my previous videos, okay. So let's do one thing. Let's upload this to our Lambda. So I have already installed the Amazon AWS plugin over here in my STS, in my IDE. So I can just click on upload function to AWS Lambda. If you don't have this one, no need to worry about anything. You can just generate the artifact, like whatever. It's a jar file. You can just do ambient clean install. It will generate the jar file, and you can manually upload it over there. Okay, and to manually upload it, you just need to go here. You can see the upload button here. Okay, as because we have created the same my demo function we have created, so I'm just reusing that one. You just need to select Java runtime at Java 8, then the handler method you have to give, okay, and you need to upload it. Okay, so but let me quickly do that from here only. Upload function to AWS Lambda. Then let's choose our Lambda function, which is already there, my demo function. Click on next. It will take some time. Okay. Save user details to this description. It is taking it from there only because we had earlier. This is the role. Earlier we used to, I think this is for RDS to access it. Access the database. For that I have added it. Okay. And this S3 bucket and all of these things. Earlier you were using it. So you can just leave it as it is. Click on finish. And if you see here, it is uploading the function to the Lambda. Once this is done, then we can check it out. Okay. So now it is done. Let's come here and let's see our API proxy request. What I have done is I have already created one test event. If you see API proxy request, and there I just I have removed a couple of them unnecessary things because we don't need that. Basically, we'll be needing this resource body, and HTTP method should be there. This query string parameters we are having, and headers we'll check. Okay. Let's do one thing. I have already added this JSON. Okay. As because this is string, so this double quote within double quote. So for that you need to use this backslash. Okay. Method is post, and instead of this, in this query string parameter, you can see foo bar. So the same thing, it should be logged in our CloudWatch log, right? So let's do a test over here and we'll see. Okay. All right. So the status code is 200 and body is success. This is what Lambda is sending. Okay. But we have not yet tested with API Gateway. That's why you are not able to understand what is the benefit of this one. Okay. So if you see here, we got the user details, whatever we are printing over here, right? Context.log or user details. If you come to user details class, we have yeah, so toString method is there, and hence it is able to print that one. All right, and HTTP method is post and key colon value as because we are iterating and printing the key and value for the query string, and then it is just printing us the request ID and report, all those things. Okay, so that means our Lambda is good. At least we are able to execute and see the log. Now let's go ahead and create one API gateway. So go to services. If you have not yet opened, click on API gateway. Okay, so this is the console for API gateway, and as because I have one API gateway, one API I have created, REST API. That's why the screen looks different. But in your case, it might be something else. You need to create on create API. Okay, and you can get started. So let's create one API. As because we mostly use REST API, so let's select this one. Develop a REST API where you gain complete control over the request and response along with API management capability. So this will give us more control on the API. So that's why let's go ahead with this. And if you don't want to create any API which will be accessible outside of your VPC, then you go and create with this one. Okay. That I'll create a separate video for creating one API gateway with within the VPC and accessing RDS DynamoDB within the VPC. Okay, so let's create one. All right. So the type is REST. It's a new API. Let's give some name. Let's give user details. User details service. Create API. So whenever you create any API, basically you always create one resource, and then within that resource you create one method, let's say get method or post method, something like that, right? So similarly, you need to create resource as well here. First of all, let's create one resource. And if you don't select this configure as proxy resource, right? Whatever the data you are going to pass, means whatever the request you are going to pass, the request will be sent to Lambda as it is. Okay, it is not going to send all those headers details or the metadata. Okay, because if you want to send all the headers and all the required details, right, HTTP methods, all those things, you want to have access in the Lambda, you need to select this proxy. Okay, that is all about our video. In this video, we are talking about the proxy integration. Okay, and this one we can just leave it as it is, so that we can replace with anything else. Click on this enable API gateway CORS so that it will allow cross origin access and create resource. Okay, so now already got created the resource, and it is saying that any setup. That means we can use any method. Okay, if you it's a proxy, and any setup means you can just go ahead and give the Lambda function here integration type. That means we are going to, whenever we are going to hit this API gateway, finally the request will be sent to which one, who will be the processor. In this case it will be our Lambda function. Okay, it can be another HTTP proxy or it can be another VPC link, but in this case, as because we are going to use Lambda function for that, so we are going to select this, and automatically that Lambda function came. If you see here, let me do it again, you can see, yeah, and then you can click on save. So this is saying that you are about to give API gateway permission to invoke the Lambda, which is okay. All right, so now the integration should be done, and now it is saying that you can just let's say see the integration request, integration response, all those things. So let's try, go ahead and test it. Okay, as because it is any, right, and here you can select any type of method. Okay, proxy, instead of proxy we will say user details. Query string we are reading, right, if you remember. So let's just do same thing we'll use. Okay, headers we are not printing now. Let's do one thing. User ID, the same way you have to give. Okay, let me give some. Then it was first name, then I think last name. Okay, if you go back here and see in user details, we have user ID, first name, last name, and it should be exactly the same, or else there will be a Jackson bind conversion exception or something. You'll get it. Okay, so let's click on test. Okay, if you see here, it's proxy, but still what it is showing, the path is user details question mark key equal to value. That is nothing but your query params, right? And status is 200. Latency it is showing just 26 milliseconds. How fast it is? Success response header. If you see here, AMZ trace ID. Okay, that is the trace ID using which. So now in the log, if you see over here, starting execution for the request, this, if you see proxy equal to user details, using which, because the proxy we have given user details, that is why it is saying proxy equal to user details. Query string is this one. Headers, we are not passing anything else. Method request body, if you see whatever you are sending, then the same thing is being sent to the Lambda. Okay, with the proper proxy format. And if you see whatever we have given, right, in our Lambda, all the logging and all those things, we can just go back and check in our Lambda console. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to monitoring here, view CloudWatch. If you come over here, if you see, let me do in a normal text format so that you'll get to know. Okay, so how we are printing user details colon, then we are printing the user details right here in our user details colon, we are printing the user. If you see the same thing, then HTTP method we are printing, which is post. Then we are getting the query string parameters and printing key colon value, right? So we did earlier also we tested it directly from Lambda. So this is the first part, and this is second time we tested it from API Gateway, correct? Let me delete it log stream so that phrase one will check. Okay, so now that we have tested it once, so how do we deploy this API? Correct? Now your API is ready. So what you can do, you can come here and you can click on deploy API, and you just select the stage. Stage is nothing but it is dev or prod or something. So let's do it prod. Okay, you can give the stage description and deployment description. Okay, so now it is giving us the URL, which we can use it from our postman or wherever you are executing. Okay, and these things you can configure like request per second, then burst, all those things. This configuration you can just have a look, and maybe another video I'll in detail explain about all these things. Okay. Okay, let's copy this link. Go back to postman. Method should be post here, and this will use something user details question mark key comma value. Okay, foo bar was already there. Let's do something day equal to, let's say, Monday. Okay, and body, it should be raw JSON format, and let's we need to give the same thing. Whatever, let's do one thing. Okay, I could have copied it. User ID, okay, let's try. Okay, let's trigger it. Yeah, if you see here, status code is 200, whatever the time taken, then response is success. But we have already cleared the CloudWatch log. Let's see, just refresh it. Okay, if you see here, whatever the key value we sent, right? Day, Monday, and the user details. Okay, so this is the CloudWatch log in Lambda. Okay, so this is the CloudWatch log, whatever we are seeing in Lambda. So basically on API Gateway, we deployed and we have done the integration with the Lambda, and along with the proxy integration, that means you want to get headers, body, all those methods, all those details, you can get it. Okay, if you want me to just have a look, add something for headers, right? Let's do one thing. Let's add another map, which is headers equal to new. Okay, input dot get headers, correct? String. Then the same thing we can do, header colon. We can do key set. This is going to return then get log. let's print header plus colon, will print the value. Okay, and to do that, dot get and header, so that it will print whatever all the headers we are going to put it. So I have just added one more line to just print the header. So let's do one thing. Get logout.log. Let me printing the headers. Okay, just save it. Let me deploy it. Upload function to AWS Lambda, and this will be user detail service. Choose the function. Click on finish and wait for it to get completed, so that the upload should be completed. Yeah, it's done. So now let me first clear this log, delete the log stream. Yeah, so now let me add some header like test header or something like this. Okay, content type is anyways one header, which is application JSON. We are sending test header value. Okay, and then let's try to trigger this. Okay, we got the response. Success. Let's go back and see in CloudWatch log. Okay, printing the headers. Yeah, sometimes it takes some time to get updated in this CloudWatch log. You can see here printing the headers, then header name, comma, that value. So these are all the headers it is getting passed as part of the proxy integration. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see this test headers and test header value, whatever we are sending, right? That is getting printed over here. So all those things you can see it here. So this was all about AWS API Gateway and Lambda Proxy integration. Even when I started, I got confused with how to do it using Java and whether I need to follow anything. Like I was not able to do it. Then I just check it out here, and in Lambda itself, they have mentioned one template I was showing you, right? In that template, you can just go ahead and see they have already given this. So you just need to follow and create the request, and automatically AWS is going to convert the request to this format. So this is the way you can just use your any of the application whenever you are developing, right? You can make use of this API Gateway Lambda, and you can just do the integration, and basically you can send all the details, body details, the way we are sending. Normally also whenever you create any API, you follow the same thing. So this was all about proxy integration. Maybe in next video we'll talk about how we can use API Gateway, then we can use Lambda, and then RDS or DynamoDB to save some data, so that the complete picture you will get it to complete one use case, like or maybe S3 or Lambda data source part. So basically in any of the business use case, right, whatever we get the request from something and process it, then persist it into some database. So we are going to talk about that maybe in our next video. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe so that you will get notified, and you can have you can just post me any comments or any questions you have, or we want to discuss into some regarding any other service which you can discuss. Thanks for watching the video.